Dream Team, it's your boy Neal back with another reaction video, guys. Here we are with the Nordic prisons. We reacted to the little small excerpt of this video, but now we're reacting to the full thing. Before we dive in, y'all know I need y'all to smash that subscribe button, ring notification bell, get a video a thumbs up so it gets suggested.
Hej och välkommen till The Norden. En serie i vilken vi granskar den omtalade nordiska välfärden, bara att vi gör det genom en utomstående betraktares ögon. Frågan är hurudant samhälle vi nordbor egentligen har byggt upp. I det här avsnittet ska James Conway, före detta fängelsechef från USA, få bekanta sig med nordiska fängelser. Också kallade världens mest humana.
Was this fancier
in
then?
the world.
Yes. They cut it through. We would never allow an individual to cover their face up. I would think the crime victims would be opposed to this type of a living arrangement for the criminal. That's far from a prison in my experience.
I'm so excited to jump into it because it's like, as an American, when you see these prisons, it's literally mind-blowing, and it destroys every concept that you have of what you think is supposed to be a prison. Yet the system that they use in Norway, or no, I'm saying out there, it's more humane and it works better if you look at the percentages.
I Norden sitter cirka 17 000 personer i fängelse, och det är en mycket liten mängd av befolkningen om man jämför internationellt. Och de nordiska fängelserna, ja, de beskrivs ju ofta som hotell snarare än en bestraffning. Mycket humana förhållanden, internerna har många rättigheter och straffen de är rätt korta dessutom. Så på ett sätt så är det väl lite förvånande att vi inte har fler fångar än vi har här i Norden. Och vem toppar statistiken? Jo, USA.
I was so scared to look at the US's, bro. Oh my god. They gotta create a brand new chart for us, bro. That's insane. That is legitimately insane compared to these countries. Wow. Per 100,000 people, 58, 67, 72, 73. We are 10 times.
Och vem toppar statistiken?
Wow!
Jo, USA. Med sina tuffa, ogästvänliga, knökfulla fängelser. Och det borde ju vara tvärtom, eller hur? Så betyder snällare fängelser färre intagna? Inte om du frågar James Conway i varje fall. Conway är före detta chef för Attica State Prison i New York, känt som ett av de allra tuffaste högsäkerhetsfängelserna i USA.
New York State and the Department of Correctional Services are not responsible for you being an inmate. And that means you put yourself here. Don't blame the department, don't blame the staff, don't blame the judge, don't blame society. It was your actions that put yourself here. So it's a self-reflection type of a thing. Look to yourself first. Look in the mirror. Michael Jackson song. You want to make a change? Look at the man in the mirror.
Nu ska James få besöka några nordiska, mjuka fängelser i Finland, Sverige och Norge. Och frågan är hur mycket han kommer att mjukna under resans gång.
Let's see.
Välkommen till Tavastehus fängelse, byggt 1972 som kvinnofängelse. Men eftersom det inte fanns så många kvinnliga fångar så började man ganska snabbt inhysa män där också.
Makes sense.
I'm looking forward to see the physical plant, what type of programmatic services they offer. Is their mindset that it's the prison's responsibility to change people, or is it the inmate's responsibility to change themselves? Because I'm just curious to see how that will play out. A lot of folks unfamiliar with prisons think that it's It's the prison's job to make sure this person comes out as a law-abiding citizen. And those of us in prison realize that's not the case.
Kyllähän Suomessa niin kuin enemmän pyritään siihen kuntouttavaan toimintaan ja se, että saataisiin vangit pois tästä vankilakierteestä ja rikoskierteestä. Eli uskotaan siihen ihmisen muutokseen ja se, että se käsitys, mitä mulla on yhdysvaltalaisesta vankeinhoidosta, niin kyllähän se enemmän on sitten, että siellä uskotaan tähän rangaistavuuteen ja että ne ihmiset niin kuin säilötään sinne vankilan muurien sisäpuolelle pois sieltä yhteiskunnasta.
I completely agree with his perspective of American prisons. And I mean, I feel like we have so much in our prisons because, I mean, in America, you profit from your prisons. I'm not sure how it is in the Nordic countries, Norway, Finland, Sweden. But in America, you profit from prisoners being in these prisons. You profit from these prisons. So I feel like that's why, I mean, there's incentive to lock people up.
Tavastehus fängelse inhyser 172 interner och säkerhetsklassas som medium. Hit placerar man också mammor med barn under 3 år.
Oh, wow.
At the moment we have only 2 female prisoners here and capacity is for 5 female prisoners.
And all their activities take place within this unit right here?
Yes.
Recreation, meals?
Meals. The only time they go out is when they have this outside exercise or when they go to the gym.
You've taken the time and to make this a very family-friendly environment.
Yes.
It does look like a prison. All the toys are put away. Much better than my son's house.
Dang.
Av
That is
fundamentalt enkla
nice.
biologiska skäl är det inte alltid helt lätt att kombinera fångar av olika kön.
We've had our experiences in New York State with co-ed facilities, and they were very unsuccessful.
Why is that?
There was a lot of interaction between the male and female. A lot of inappropriate activity took place between them, and it was too staff intensive to deal with it. So they decided to separate them.
It sounds it's a bit difficult to deal with.
Are they in class together?
No,
Right now?
they used to be.
Okay.
But as you said,
A lot of bathroom calls to the class.
well, no bathroom, but when they had their breaks. But otherwise, all the schedules and the workshop, they are separately. So we are trying to, let's say, divide the activities so there is no encounters.
Do you have separate shower facilities, separate,
yes,
all
yes.
that stuff.
So they coexist in different worlds
and
in same
separate
same
saunas also.
Do you have any issues with male staff and female inmates? Or female staff and
there has
male
been
inmates?
sometimes rumors, but nothing. Let's say, hasn't been
That's a constant
evidence
problem in New York.
Yeah.
Constant.
I can imagine that, yeah. Yeah, I mean, and then you're in a position of power and then you take advantage of these prisoners or they take advantage of you. You might think you in a position of power and you find out that they the ones in a position of power. But, yeah, of course, I feel like you have male and female like co-ed and you have them coincide, whether it be in classes or anything. By, like they said, biological reasons, there's gonna be interaction. Like you're locked up, you're locked up with a bunch of men all the time. You see some girls, of course you're gonna want to interact. You're gonna want to talk to them. Gonna want to do more than talk. Same, vice versa for females. So, yeah, I understand why you'd have to keep them separated.
Jarmo förevisar en typisk nordisk cell åt James.
Wow.
Som i sin tur förklarar hur en typisk amerikansk genomgång av cellen skulle gå till.
I would search the bed first, totally top to bottom, everything comes off, and then leave that in a pile, and then go around the room systematically and put everything on the bed that I'm frisking. So that when she came back in, all of her property would be right here on the bed.
So you don't put them back where they were when
That's her job.
That's tough.
People that work in prisons, in my experience, tend to be rather cynical. I would be cautious to give the inmate the impression that because I'm so caring, I'm also weak, because we're not. You can have a humane system, but if I take advantage of your humanity or your kindness, I'm going to get put down.
I think that's difficult. That's difficult to say because there's not a perfect system, and there's no such thing as perfect people. So you could have 9 out of 10 people that fully accept their sentences and fully following the rules, following the laws, being a great prisoner, or you know what I'm saying. But then you just have that one who could possibly like ruin things for everyone, and so it's hard to say that people take advantage because there might be 9 out of 10 that don't, but that one that does will ruin everything.
Vi fortsätter vidare till anstalten i Kumla, kanske det närmaste Attica vi har här i Norden. I Kumla sitter tungt kriminella med långa straff och säkerhetsklassen är hög.
See what this looks like.
Jo, det ska bli kul att visa honom mitt fängelse och jag tror att han kommer känna igen sig väldigt väl härifrån sin erfarenhet från USA. I huvudsak så tror jag att vi är väldigt nära varandra i grundprinciperna. Han kommer känna igen mycket här.
Okay.
James, han.
Yeah, so this one seemed a little bit more strict. You know what I'm saying? He's saying, I think he'll feel very at home here. I think we share the same principles. So he seemed like this prison ain't as open, ain't as friendly, ain't as, you know what I'm saying? They don't got as much privacy, they don't got as much rights kind of as they do in that other prison.
Blir snabbt imponerad.
It looks like a prison. There's a double chain link fence around the compound, provides enhanced security from what we saw before. There's also cameras that record activity, any illicit activity in the area around the facility. Kenneth.
Hello.
James Connolly.
Welcome to Kumla.
Thank you. I'm pleased to meet you. I'm very impressed with your operation up to this point. I'm sure I'm going to be more impressed as we go on.
I hope so. Now we are at the control room of this prison. It's a new technical system, a new alarm system, a new camera setting. Everything is quite new. About 800 cameras total in the prison.
The director, governor, he's in charge. Knowledgeable. There's nothing he didn't know. He was very open and friendly with the staff. You could tell that they respected him when he came through.
Love that.
Trots hög säkerhet och gedigen bevakning så har Kumla haft sina incidenter. Kenneth berättar om en av dem, vintern 2004.
We had 3 prisoners in the yard at the time. It was January, 6 o'clock in the evening, so it was complete darkness. Only the lamps on. 2 men come from the outside with ladders, raised them to the wall,
wow.
climbed up, another ladder down, and they had machine guns. One of them had some sort of tool, so he ran to the net, cut it open, took the 3 prisoners out, while the other one was at the top of the wall with a machine gun. And up the ladders and away. 15 minutes, all in all.
Dang.
Was this fence here then?
Yes. They cut it through. They had a tool with, I don't know what the
Metal cutting tool of
yes.
some type.
Yeah.
So did they? I'm intrigued to know if they caught the people that escaped and the people that helped them escape, or if the people just ended up just getting away and they never heard from them again. But that's crazy because you see these shows about like prison breaks and escapes and all this stuff, but it's like I've never actually heard a story in real life where they escaped, and I know there has to be plenty stories where people have escaped from prison, I assume. But I've never heard a story, I know what I'm saying, like a real story where people escape.
It was done in seconds.
He's experienced some tough issues.
Nästa anhalt är Svartsjö med en minimalt säkerhetsklassad öppen anstalt med 83 platser. Hit kommer du just före frigivning för att du ska kunna vänja dig till ett liv utanför murarna. Men vår ankomst och framförallt våra tv-kameror uppskattas inte av alla.
Oh, wow.
Vet du vad? Får jag prata med dig? Han kommer att ta bort alla ansikten på film.
Jag ska inte vara med. Jag ska inte behöva sitta inne på rummet för de här.
Nej, men de kommer inte han visa något ansikte överhuvudtaget.
Hallå?
Men vi går och pratar med dem i centralvakten då. Kom.
Oh, wow.
So this is the living quarter. Let's go in and have a look.
Serviceable and yet secure.
Ganska snabbt lär vi oss att det första James lägger märke till i ett rum är de grejer du kan göra vapen av.
Of course.
Cayenne pepper is something that you wouldn't see typically. Throw it in your face, burn your eyes.
På Svartsjö har man också kor. Hederliga kor kan tilläggas. De finns där för att de intagna helt enkelt ska lära sig empati och lära sig att ta hand om saker och ting. Mjuka, lurviga, rara kor för hårda, brottsbenägna individer. Hur köper James konceptet?
It makes perfect sense to me. It teaches them what real work means and the product of their efforts and they perform a service.
James är lite frånvarande eftersom han kan inte släppa den där incidenten i morse med internen som protesterar.
Would this be a good time to talk about the guy with the white hood this morning?
Yeah, sure.
We would never allow an individual to cover their face up. We couldn't identify him. That's number one. He would be called in and he would be given some kind of a sanction for that episode this morning. If he likes to walk every day, he wouldn't walk for 5 days.
I'm not here to reprimand people. I'm not
Yeah,
here
he
to...
didn't want to be on camera. I feel like you can't force somebody to show their face on camera if they don't want to show their face. That's why he's hiding himself. He didn't want to be on the cameras. I don't think that's punishment worthy to want to hide from the cameras.
to be the bad guy.
You want to hit him where it hurts. If a guy never gets any visits, there's no point in giving him a loss of visitation sanction because he never gets a visit. So you want to try to impress upon him the importance of abiding by the rules by imposing a sanction that means something to him.
I think this sounds like a very old way of child rearing, you know, when you take away privileges and, you know, I'm up here and I can tell you off.
We didn't ask them to come here. Don't blame anybody else for your situation, in other words.
What if you tried to be more therapeutic? Would you have happier prisoners if you tried it, you know, their way?
No.
Why not? Why are you so sure?
Our prisoners would try to manipulate the system. They misinterpret kindness for weakness.
På kvällen ringer James sin gamla kollega John hemma i Buffalo för att ventilera saken.
He was obviously in an agitated state. He was objecting to our being there. He didn't want his mother to see him on camera, so that's why he was walking around the facility with a white hood on his head.
This was an inmate?
Yes. And I asked if there was going to be any sanction imposed on his behavior that morning. And they said no. They thought it was over with and that they handled it and he went back to his... I said, well, they just said, well, he likes to go for walks at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I said, well, in our environment, he probably wouldn't be going for any walks for about 7 days.
That's wild, bro. Yeah, I feel like you start seeing the differences 100%. Like I said, I don't think you should get punished for not wanting to show your face on the camera. That's crazy to punish someone for that.
Vi talar om fängelser i Norden, mjuka, humana fängelser där fångens integritet och rehabilitering är högst på agendan. Och med oss har vi James Conway, före detta chef för Attica State Prison i USA. Och hans linje är hård. Det är du som väljer fängelse och det är du som tar konsekvenserna.
Prison's not supposed to be comfortable. Prison's not a comfortable situation. Society is supposed to be comfortable. The inmate has given up his right to be in society by violating laws, by violent crime, by committing murder, by committing rape. That person shouldn't be coddled, shouldn't be given a situation where we're concerned about how they would feel if they were somebody who was to walk by their cell and see them on the toilet. Who cares how they feel?
Men hur mjuka är våra fängelser sist och slutligen?
I feel like for serious, like you said, murder, rape, like those serious crimes, I understand where he's coming from. For lesser crimes, though, I don't feel like you should be treated like crap, for you know what I'm saying? But for something as serious as that, like murder or rape, it should be uncomfortable for you because you get to continue living while you took someone else's life, or you get to continue that person that's been raped now has to live with that traumatic traumatizing situation that happened to them for the rest of their life, and you shouldn't get to live comfortably after that.
Mr. Karlsson, han har suttit i alla varianter av anstalter du bara kan tänka dig i sammanlagt 27 år. Idag är han en hederlig man, en fri man, och vi frågar Christer, är nordiska fängelser så lätta att vistas i som det sägs?
I'm intrigued at hearing this.
I have visits from Russia and Belarus, and they have been inside prison and inside custody. You know, if you have solarium in the custody, it's they think it's like a hotel. So some of the people, if they ask if they can change the hotel to that custody. So yeah, I can agree.
And is that a good thing that they are soft?
Yeah, I think it's good to behave, to treat people with human thinking. I think it's good because if you treat them badly, they be more badly by themselves and do some more awful crime when they come out.
And the statistics show what he's saying is correct. You know what I'm saying? If you treat them like animals, what are they going to turn into? An animal. And if they were an animal when they came in, you continue to treat them like animals, they're going to continue to act like an animal. But I've never been in prison. I've never worked at a prison or worked in a prison or been around these. So I couldn't tell you like how they act in prison systems anywhere in the world. I couldn't tell you. So I'm just speaking from an outside perspective that has no inside viewpoints at all, or I've never seen any of it for myself.
Vår resa börjar närma sig sitt slut. Återstår ett fängelse för James att besöka. Ett fängelse helt i linje med den humana nordiska varianten. Eller kanske till och med alldeles där i fronten.
Hey!
Välkommen till Halden, också kallat världens mest humana fängelse. Byggt 2010 under mottot en järnhand i silkeshandske.
That video, why you ready to work? I call them hard. Hey, y'all got any open positions? I want to come work at y'all. Look like y'all having a good time over there. Let me come work with y'all.
We'll make a better day, just you and me.
That's so dope.
Jag tror han vill bli överraskad över, i hans ögon, hvor liberalt det kanske är i Halden fängsel. Det är väl det jag kanske är mest spänd på.
I think his is the excerpt that I got to see already.
Det skyldes jo det norske i hvilken retning norsk kriminalomsorg har gått de senere årene, hvor vi i tillegg til straffeelementet også har mye fokus på tilbakeføring til samfunnet. Der tror jeg kanskje vi har en større tyngde på det elementet av straffgjennomføringen enn hva kanskje USA har.
Säkerhetsklassen är hög, hallen inhyser 252 fångar och platsen är ute i en vacker avskild norsk landsbygd.
Keeping the trees, keeping the rocks makes, in a way, the environment softer and keeping a feeling of more normality instead of using just concrete anywhere.
Hallen är egentligen ett slags experiment. Det vill säga, vad händer med återfallsprocenten om man behandlar fångar så jämlikt och respektfullt som bara möjligt? Är det helt enkelt så att snällhet alltid föder snällhet? Det vill man utreda här.
Surprises.
I'm intrigued to see how this experiment works.
See metal silverware in a high security end facility. It's very well equipped kitchen environment. Glassware and porcelain plates. Very functional, however, very sharp and breakage pretty simple.
Och snällheten har sina sidor.
So, this is the average cell in Holland prison, so every cell is identical actually. Yeah.
Fången ska till exempel få röka på cellen om han eller hon så bara vill.
It's a difficult issue also in Norway about the smoking, because this is the working environment for the officers, and the working environment in Norway should be smoking free. But at the same time, it's the privacy also of the inmates. So it's a clashes between two needs there. It's the inmates, which is in a way his private living area. At the same time, it's the working environment for the officers. So that's two interests clashing together actually.
I would think the crime victims would be opposed to this type of a living arrangement for the criminal. Just that's my opinion.
And I said that in a different video. Yes, the victim definitely, especially for something serious like you said, murder or rape, you definitely be opposed to them living comfortable. You want them to be as tortured as you are. But keep it going, keep it rolling.
Yeah, maybe you're right, maybe not.
And I think, if anything, I'm a big anime fan, and it's taught me that violence just begets more violence, right? And so at some point, someone has to break the chain of violence, break the chain of hate, break the chain of revenge, right? And show their enemy love. And it'd be the hardest thing to do, but like when I be watching, in the real world, it's a lot harder than watching it on a TV screen. But when I do watch it through a TV screen, it's like inspiring to watch. But for something to happen to you in a real world situation, for someone to take a family member for you, or for someone to rape you, and then you get to see, and then to forgive them and see them living comfortably, like that's a completely different situation. And me personally, I don't think I would be cool. Like I could forgive someone for that, but that's just me, and that's like a selfish point of view, I think, for me.
If I was to go to Attica's honor block and pick 4 or 5 inmates and set them down and said, here's your project for today. I want you to draw me up the prison of your dreams. They would probably come back with some kind of a Halden model. This is a prison utopia. This is the best prison you could ever imagine if you were an inmate. That's far from a prison in my experience.
What are the possibilities to use internet for the inmates?
The use of internet is an integrated part of all teaching in Norway nowadays. So those going to school can apply for something called Internet for Inmates, which is a very limited version of internet with the predefined sites that you can visit. You are under surveillance. We check every day a log to see where have you been, what have you tried to search for, etc.
Have you found any strange search words?
That has happened, and it has.
What types?
They have searched, for instance, for other inmates to find out maybe what they are here for, and that's the kind of use that we do not accept. So when we started this Internet for Inmates, we did have some reactions to begin with, but as they see that things have consequences, the use is more in line with the guidelines afterwards.
What's your take on internet in Attica?
Zero.
James upptäcker plötsligt en hylla med DVD-skivor.
Being a library, I assume like I can take a book out and take it back to my cell and read it. Can I take out a DVD?
Yes.
Take it back to my cell and watch it?
Yes.
I'm looking for Escape from Alcatraz.
Och allra längst inne på området vid Haldenfängelset når vår resa sin kulmen.
Wow.
Got the music studio on deck. Got the music studio on deck. That's insane.
I'm having a hard time believing that I'm in a prison.
James don't know what's going on. James is like, yeah, this can't be real. He said, he's in his head, he said, you cannot be serious right now.
I've never seen anything like this anywhere, inside a correctional facility.
You're laughing.
I'm because it's rather extravagant with some of the equipment on both sides of the window, and I'm trying to get my head around what type of employment we are preparing an individual for in this kind of environment. I'm more used to teaching inmates or helping inmates get their graduate equivalency diploma, or teaching them woodworking or small engine repair or how to fix a TV or radio.
Well, I can understand your questions, because this is probably the part of the facility that raises the most questions. Really.
Eyebrows, I bet, yeah.
You will always see an interaction between the officers and the inmates. That's a vital part, actually, of the Norwegian Correctional Services ideology.
How does that interaction sound to you?
We have ping pong tables in the honor block. And there have been occasions when the officer plays ping pong with the inmates, but if they get caught, they get counseled and disciplined, and they are told they're not supposed to be doing that.
Why are they supposed
That's
to?
not why you were hired. You were hired to be a security officer, a correctional officer. Your job is safety and security.
But extravagant. It can look so when you look around you, but again, from a Norwegian perspective, from a Norwegian welfare society perspective, I'm not quite sure.
James Conway, före detta fängelsedirektör från Buffalo, USA, har besökt 4 fängelseanstalter i Norden. Resan den slutar här i det norska fängelset Halden. Och James, han är skeptisk.
This is off the map as far as I'm concerned. But I'm very impressed with the operation. I'm also taken aback by some of the things that I saw. I think their model is, when you have an unlimited budget, their model is fine, and it's all wine and roses. But I think when the incident happens down the road, they're going to have to make some changes. Everybody's not going to go along with their treatment plan that we're doing this to help you. Somebody's going to go against the grain. There's always a case. And if I'm wrong, then I'll I'll chalk it up to I'm wrong. I mean, but I think within 5, I'd like to see the 5-year model. I'd like to see it go for 5 years and see what happens. How many inmates got stabbed? How many tried to escape? How many assaulted a staff member?
And so this was made like 6-8 years ago, something like that. So has the model worked for Halden Prison? I mean, has any of that stuff happened? I'm intrigued to know. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Yeah, this is just as from an American viewpoint, it's just mind blowing. It's a completely different concept of prison. If that makes sense. Yeah, that's all we got for this. You guys got a favorite video suggestion? You can subscribe to Patreon or drop it in the comment section. It's your boy Neal, out.